Here at Thrust, things are getting a little bit bigger. To my left, here we have a Rolls-Royce Spey 511. You're looking at something from NASA off of a G3. It's going to be a Gulfstream. These things produce about 12,000 pounds of thrust. I'm sure you can tell we have two of them, one each for our Addison and Fort Worth locations. Both locations are going to get the same type of training. The projects that we are going to be having the students perform on these engines are going to be matched with the most common projects done in the airline. So when students graduate Thrust, they get that A&P certificate, they hit the airlines and they are ready to go. It's going to be a great resume builder. It's going to build confidence in the interview process. All around a great way to go, great addition to the curriculum here. And so really excited to have these Spey engines from Rolls-Royce. So looking forward to a bigger and badder power plant curriculum. As you can see, this thing looks exactly like a car engine, right? Well, it doesn't look like it, but it might function like it. Believe it or not, the intake, compression, power, and exhaust cycles in a traditional automotive engine are actually in something called the Brayton cycle, spread throughout this engine here. You have your intake, your compression, you have your power. Oh, where's the fuel at? And the exhaust just aft. So same as a car engine, just strewn out a little differently here at the inlet to the engine. We are looking at the front. This is going to be where the air draws into. You have a set of stators and rotors. Those are going to be alternating all the way back through the compression section. So the basic idea of an engine, you're looking at getting air, compressing it, adding fuel to it, and setting it off with a spark, at least in a jet engine until it becomes self-sustaining, the ignition process there, and then expelling the gases. So here we're looking at the inlet, traditionally in this general area leading into the compressor section. The cool thing about axial flow compressors, you want more compression, you want more power, you want more air, you just have to add a few more stages. That's why you see a few engines, depending on the age and manufacturer, you're looking at a few more stages. A little bit of a longer engine means more power. So if you follow me through here, you're looking at the compressor section. They got multiple stages of these rotors. They're going to be rotating. They're going to be forcing the air backwards, creating sort of a bubble, if you will. If that helps many students remember it, to push the air back towards this combustion chamber right here. The air by itself is actually going to be running about 500-ish degrees, depending on the type of engine, just based off of air compression before you mix the fuel into the equation. These fuel manifolds right here, got your primary and secondary nozzles and your lines. That's going to be where we add in the fuel. So now we have compressed air, we have fuel. We're going to light it on fire to start it off. We're going to have some igniter plugs until the engine gets up to what they call self-sustaining speed. After that, the explosion is pushed out backwards, and that is essentially what's going to be powering the aircraft forward. Now, before we let the gases go, we are going to send them through a turbine section, a set of wheels, not too unlike a pinwheel you might have blown in as a child, or a fan. As you blow in it, it begins to spin, right? So as the turbine wheels are spinning, they're going to be connected to the compressor section via a shaft. And as the exhaust gases are leaving, turbine spins, so does the compressor. Compressor compresses more air, we add fuel to the air, and the whole cycle starts over. So that's the basics of a jet engine right there. Some of the things I'm really looking forward to having the students implementing into Thrust curriculum. Again, commonly fixed and repaired changed items. You're looking at fuel pumps, bleed air ducts. Anything with bleed air is really critical and is going to be commonly worked on in the airlines. So oil tanks, oil servicing, any type of filter, we're going to be pulling it all. We're going to be changing, we're going to be adjusting, we're going to be using the AMM, the IPC. We're going to be airline ready by the time we're done with these. Thanks for tuning in to our YouTube channel here at Thrust Institute of Maintenance. We love showing off our new toys and hope you'll come check it out. If you have any questions, if you want to take a tour, see them yourselves, contact our admissions team and we'll get you signed up.